we're being invaded by electricity. I don't think that electronic media should just be the, or digital media should be what we should talk about. Fundamentally, digital media is just one extension of the the introduction of electricity in culture. And it does, and the maturing process of electricity in culture goes from the telegraph all the way to Twitter and to whatever we are discussing and discovering now. It's very much an invasion of language first. And when I say it's an adventure of language, I mean it starts with language, but language is an internal process as well. We've internalized language. We've internalized language qua language, thanks to the alphabetic representation of that language. Something that the Chinese can do quite in the same way. Having done that, we have developed this kind of strength of individuality. But now we are relinquishing a great deal of it to the new medium that is actually porting and supporting language and turning our cognitive processing into very different new strategies. I'm not aware of all of them. I'm just studying this because I realize that this is a much more serious event. We are so much invested by electricity, so much so that this interconnectivity that you are mentioning, this sort of intoxication with being online, this pleasure that turns into an addiction, fact is only the natural maturing process of being interconnected globally all the time, not only in terms of the electrical system, but also in terms of all the sensors and QR codes and things. Humanity today is in the process of interconnecting the way the very cells of our body are interconnected within our body. That's just what's happening because of electricity. And I think it's very important to recognize that there is some direction going in that way that actually explains very much our predicament. But we still think with our, purely literate mind.
Derek?
Yeah?
Here, I'm here.
You're there. Who's there?
Here.
There you are.
You really are out of your body, I guess.
I'm completely out of my body.
I guess I have a nature and nurture question. Because the way you're talking, the mind and the brain are very, very, very plastic. And I guess I kind of wonder if this room was filled with people from 10,000 years ago, 9, 8, 7, 6. How different would we really be from each other in terms of our cognitive and ability to talk to each other? I mean, is the brain as plastic as you are making it sound like?
Well, my research is basically on the alphabet and the brain. And clearly there, even though it took about 150 to 200 years, the shift of processing from one strategy to another actually did occur. So the plasticity, 200 years is nothing in terms of the time of evolution. We know that. I'm sure that the people 10,000 years ago would be profoundly different. And in fact, they would not understand anything we're saying. They probably wouldn't. But give them time, maybe 200 years, they might just catch up. The experiment that I quoted from Bockheimer and Small and Co. and Moody is, I think, a very banal experiment, except that it focused specifically on how the brain adapted to the use of these technologies. But otherwise, it doesn't say anything but that we are, in fact, capable of learning. A pianist does his gum every day in order to make sure that the neurological substrate that's going to help him to perform in his musical form is actually still up to the best ability. And the reason he or she has to do that is because of the excellence of the requirements of being a professional concert pianist. But for ordinary learning tasks, we just learn. We have it. Don't you agree?
I know that Roy also, just very quickly, for God's sake, there are different neurologists. Maya Kress, for example, who unfortunately died a few years ago, made some years ago experiments with dolphins. And he trained them to play computer games, which was very easy. Within 20 minutes, they understood how to play them. The problem was they got bored within a very short time, and then they left the machine again. I just want to make more remark. It's a long discussion about ethics. Why I brought in this differentiation between existing and being has a lot to do with Flusser's idea and the Martin Buber idea of the other.